Alright, people, if you are interested in knowing why you using Facebook again and again, why you using Instagram again and again, why you using any other app again and again, if you're interested in knowing that one, or if you're interested in building a product that'll make people behave in this particular way, stay tuned. Or if you're interested in engaging and retaining customers for your product, stay tuned, because now I'm going to tell you about basically I'm going to do a review of the book Hooked by Mr. Nir Eyal, whatever it is, man. Nir Eyal. Yeah. So he basically talks about four things, right? You have the trigger, you have the action, and then you have the reward, and then you have the investment, right? So triggers, you have internal trigger and external trigger. Internal trigger such as, बाद में आएंगे उधर, पहले एक्सटर्नल ट्रिगर के बारे में बोलूंगा क्योंकि इट्स वेरी स्मॉल. External triggers such as your paid advertisements, Google putting billboards on the roads or wherever, man, signboards saying Google, you want Google, you want a new mobile, you want to buy a new mobile phone, Google. So that's the external trigger. Go and use Google. That's the external trigger. And then you read some news about Google. And that's another sort of external trigger, right? Somebody is talking about Google. That's why Google always, man. Facebook को भी थोड़ा attention दे देते हैं. Facebook, somebody is talking about Facebook, and that's an external trigger. So we're talking about in the 4-step process of whatever it is about. You have trigger, you have reward, and then you have trigger, you have action, and then you have reward, and you have investment. We're talking about trigger at the moment, and in trigger we're talking about external trigger. We're done with external trigger pretty much. Now we're getting to internal trigger. So when you're bored. What do you do when you're bored? Okay, you do a lot of things which contribute to a significant amount of internet traffic, but we're not talking about that. So politically correct होता है. What do you do when you're bored? You go on YouTube, you go and scroll through the Instagram feed, right? That's one. That's an internal trigger. When you're uncertain about something, इधर कुछ हो गया, like what the fuck happened here, dude? So what will you do? You'll go spots on my hand. You'll go and check it on Google. You are uncertain, so you being uncertain, immediate action that you're taking is going and googling. Right, that's the internal trigger is you being uncertain. Here the internal trigger is you being bored. I mean, in the previous case, right? So done with the triggers. And then if you're feeling insignificant, what you'll do, you'll go post something on Instagram. Keep waiting for likes. 5 minutes, go back, check, like, mila, nahi mila, theek hai, done. Again, you do that. So that's about internal triggers. And then we're done with triggers. 20% of this bullshit is done, so you just have to be with another 80%. Bless yourselves. All right, man. Next, you have action. How do you? Right, you're done with trigger, right? You have action. We're gonna discuss about action now. So when we talk about action, let me just look at the notes. When we're talking about action, so the simplest thing that a user do to it's that trigger, right? So for you to take action, 3 things are very essential. You need to have the trigger, you need to have the ability, and you need to have the motivation. So a lot of people, a lot of product companies focusing on motivation, but the holy grail, my brother, is you working on ability. You see that a lot too. Example. So you have the trigger, which is people are uncertain or people are bored, and then you have this action that you have to take. So you'll have to work on ability. पूरा समझ में नहीं आ रहा है पर फिर भी बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है. So ability. If you see these 30-day free trial or subscribe for a 1 week free trial for $1, right? So when the user do not uh, like going with $100 subscription per month just like that is a little difficult for them. But however, if you're looking in terms of inability, if you're talking about the component money, so them signing up for a smaller amount is much easier. So if you're launching a product, you'll have to do if you want more subscriptions. क्या बोल रहा हूँ, pause कर देते हैं. Alright, so in ability, you have money, you have physical effort, you have brain cycle, you have social deviancy, non-routine, and a time. Right. So yeah, we were talking about how you can put a subscription package that is very cheap compared to what you were planning to do earlier, so that it's easy for people to come back or subscribe. We're not talking about customer acquisition, but now we are talking about customer acquisition. What the fuck am I saying, man? All right. So we just discussed about money. Second, we're going to discuss about physical effort. So if it is becoming even a little difficult for you to open that particular app and do something with it, it's going to create friction. So you do not want your app to be like that. You want it to be absolutely easy to use. Example, you open Instagram, dun, 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 you keep scrolling, right? Or you have the stories, dun, 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 you keep scrolling. That's it. You don't have to do anything. So make it absolutely easy in terms of physical effort and the brain cycle. You want it to be, one, physical effort ज़्यादा नहीं लगना चाहिए. Two, it should not take a lot of your mental energy for you to do that particular act of scrolling or using any app. Right. So you don't want complexity. Your brain doesn't want complexity. That's one. And then you have social deviancy. If a lot of people are using that particular product already, people would want to go and use it. That's one. And then you have non-routine. Just because you've performed an act for a lot of times, you would want to do that. So by now you would have used Facebook for a lot of time, so it will make it easy. It'll make it easy for your brain to use it again. So you'll keep doing that again. So that's about non-routine. And then you have time. For you to perform that particular act of opening and getting that experience, you want to have a very limited time. And then you have rewards. In rewards, you have three things: rewards related to tribe, rewards related to hunt, rewards related to self. Rewards related to tribe. Now you'll go, the reward that you're getting when you're going to Facebook is, you'll see what other people are doing, how other people are accomplished. So those are rewards related to tribe. You knowing what other people in your tribe are doing. That's one sort of reward. Second, you have rewards related to hunt, which I'm not very sure about. And then you have reward related to self, right? You have rewards related to self. Especially all these gaming apps, right? So you get a feeling of accomplishment, like one level done, another level done. We kill those many people, done. Another, next, more people. Stuff like that, right? That's what a lot of games is all about, right? You achieve one challenge and then another challenge, stuff like that. So those are rewards related to self. So we're done with the three parts of the process of next. You have investment. So just giving that reward is not enough. And then we miss a very important thing in reward. So B.F. Skinner conducted this experiment on the pigeons. Right? So he has some button where pigeon is put in a box. He has a button. Every time the pigeon knocks that button, it gets some grain. Every time it knocks that button, it gets some grain. Every time it knocks the button, it gets some grain. So we're talking about rewards here, variable rewards. Just rewards is not sufficient. You need variable rewards. So after a few days, what B.F. Mr. Skinner did is stopped giving rewards on a consistent basis. So sometimes the pigeon will keep knocking that button, but only sometimes will it get the grain, not all the times. Eventually, what the pigeon ended up doing is knocked it for 16 hours straight. Imagine 16 hours straight. Power of variable rewards. So that's what Facebook and Twitter and a lot of other apps are doing to you right now. The power of variable rewards. You scroll through and not all the time do you get good content. Sometimes you get good content, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. The same is the logic behind the slot machines and casinos. Variable rewards. Remember that. Now we're done with rewards. So you had that trigger. Internal trigger is the most powerful. Feeling bored, feeling uncertain, feeling lack of significance, feeling insignificant, and then you take the action while you want your customer to while you want your user to take action the way you want the user to take action. When you want the user to take action, you got to make it very easy for them to take action. You should not have the friction of money, you should not have the friction of time, you should not have the friction of other things that we discussed about. So that's about action. And then you have the rewards. You have to have variable rewards, and that's not enough. Fourth thing that's very essential in building habit forming products is investment. So you go and drop a text on WhatsApp to somebody. After few, that's one sort of investment. You have a lot of your data on Facebook. From the past 10 years, you must be having a lot of data related to your personal data. That's investment. So the very fact that you've put a lot of data out there that is of yours, you will keep coming back. Unlike a traditional physical product, the digital products, they value appreciate over the time. So you bought a bell 10 years ago, the value probably depreciates, but you signed up for Facebook 10 years ago, the value only will keep appreciating. Right, that's the beauty of digital products, man. Anyways, we were at investment. So you need people to invest something in your product. In the case of Instagram, it's you uploading a lot of images, videos, posts on Instagram, LinkedIn, the same thing, Facebook, the same thing. So that investment has to be there. You have to figure out a way to make your customers invest in your product for it to be a sustainable model. To summarize, you have the hook. So this entire thing is hook, right? You have the trigger, you have action, and then you have reward, and then you have investment. So as long as you've got all of these four covered, you're pretty much sorted, man. Yeah. All right. ठीक है, फिर I'm done, man. Next video, I'll see you. I'll go do another book review and share it with you guys.